Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 30th of April. My name is Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, what's going on? January's down, February's down, March is down, now April's gone. May means we're into the second third of the year. That is seriously scary.
Life's going fast, isn't it?
Well,
it's moving fast.
Do you
Everything moves
feel
fast.
any older than you did this time last year?
No.
I think that's the joy. Time does go quickly,
Yep.
but I think the joy of getting older is you don't really feel it
No.
until you happen to do what I do on a regular basis, which is look at my iPhone.
Yep.
And Apple keeps serving me up memories. Do you get
Yes.
these memories?
I get those, and they give you this lovely music.
Yeah.
And
they give you this lovely music,
Yeah.
so they kind of lull you in, they suck you in with lovely music,
Yeah.
and then they serve up photos of how you used to look.
Yeah. So first it's how you used to look. Then it might have someone that's no longer alive.
Correct.
And they have lovely music. Oh, that's good. That person. Yeah, I remember that. That was a lovely photo of me and my mother who passed away. Then
Yeah.
there's a photo of us, in a bad position or something, or
Doing
some
something.
of those, doing something that's not your favourite side or move or whatever, and you think, are you actually stalking us, trying to make us feel worse
But
about life?
forget all that,
Yeah.
because that really wasn't my point. My point,
Okay.
my point
I like
was
to steer you off that.
time moves on.
It does.
You don't really, from year to year, feel any different, really.
Yeah.
But when Apple serves you up how you actually used to look,
Yes.
right? It's. I've got to tell you just a little bit of critical feedback about you, Gary. When I look at your face, time has not been kind.
Well, Phil,
It's
I haven't
not been kind.
Well, I
it's
haven't
left its marks.
Well,
without question.
I'm not sure if you've looked in the mirror yourself lately, mate, but if it wasn't for all of the cosmetic surgery, which is only barely just there really for you, I'm not so sure you'd be looking so good yourself.
You know what, Gary?
Yeah.
At least I take some concern with my personal
Yeah,
appearance.
good.
And
Well,
just
you
because
need to.
Just because I
Yeah.
go overseas
Okay.
for extended periods of time
Exactly
and come
right.
back looking so much fresher,
Exactly right.
perhaps you could take a leaf out of my book.
Yeah, I think I'll let that one go and just stay au natural, Phil. But I do see a bit of the old grey coming through, and I look, it wasn't that many years ago, and when it was all black. Now it's grey, and I haven't really done much about it. But look,
You
time
are
moves on.
getting seriously grey, and interestingly, I'm not really, the grey hasn't shown through. But as I'm told, because I'm an old redhead.
Yeah, do you
right?
go white?
No, well,
or-
that's what happened. Apparently, you wake up one.
Yeah,
like
purple
you're going grey,
Yeah.
kind of slowly.
Yeah,
you
this sort of
silver fox, you. Right?
steely grey. Yeah, okay.
Right, but it's happening gradually, right? But apparently, old redheads wake up one morning and they go into shave, and all of a sudden it's like, oh,
What happened?
who is that?
And what happened?
Yeah. Well, it hasn't happened to me yet.
but what happened to your
Because
hair?
your hair just goes white.
White.
It
Well,
goes
there you
white
go.
overnight.
There you go. Well, you'll be able to do twilight auctions a little bit later into the evening and still have that nice glow about you. You can see the bitters.
So I think if that happens to me,
Yep.
not that I'm vain, right? But
Yep.
if that happens to me, right, I think I'm going to dye it jet black.
Yeah, that'll look good. You
black.
see people like that sometimes, don't you? You think, I remember you didn't have that much hair, but now you've got this big bushy black hair.
Jet
and
black.
It looks good, yeah. I don't mind. Look, I don't mind that. Really do what you
Yeah.
need to do to make yourself feel good, If you don't do anything that makes you feel good, that's okay. If you need to do everything and more and again and makes you feel better,
Imagine
go
if
ahead.
I was jet black, right,
Yep.
and I'm auctioning on a hot day, and I have a Giuliani moment.
Yeah, what's that?
Remember Giuliani,
Yeah.
who is
the mayor of New York, yeah.
mayor of New York, who went
yes.
on went on to become an advisor to Donald Trump.
He did.
And remember, he has this. He calls this press conference, and he thought he was holding it at the Four Seasons, right? So
Yes.
they booked it in for the Four Seasons. Everybody got it wrong, and they ended up at a garden nursery place
Yes.
somewhere in Brooklyn,
Yes.
which was called the Four Seasons.
And what happened?
And it was incredibly hot.
Yes.
Right, and he's talking to the camera, and he's sweating profusely, and there's all this dye coming down his face because his hair, he'd coloured his hair. Anyway, hopefully when I go jet black, I'll have the colour fast version.
Yes, well, those things can happen as an auctioneer, and they're not good. I did an auction on the weekend. Actually, my nose started running a little bit, and then I saw someone else in the crowd, and I thought, there's a bit of pollen around this particular property. Still sold it, and sold it okay, Phil, but got to take the tissue, and you steered me away from hankies. So
You were a bit sneezy.
Yeah, a little bit sneezy.
Yep,
A bit of a sneezy estate agent. Better to be a sneezy estate agent than a sleazy one.
Roundabout way of coming to
We're getting there.
our options.
I'm trying to steer us over there.
We did have a very good weekend, viewers. We sold 12 out of 14 for an 86% clearance.
Not bad.
The industry, according to Domain and REA, was 62, 63%.
Yep.
So again, of course, we've smashed the industry average.
Put up some towers.
May as well.
A little boast music.
A little boast music.
Thank you.
Having said that, Gary, 14 auctions is a very quiet weekend for us.
It is
so
quiet.
if we didn't come through with kind of A+ results,
Yes.
I would have been somewhat disappointed. Are you going to take me and the viewers through some of the outstanding results that we had?
I'm happy to do that, Phil. I'm happy to take you through that. I did join forces with you on Saturday. We went to that terrific property on Hotham Street, which is one of the properties you and I both are falling in love with.
I love that building.
I love that building, love that block, historical, interesting, architecturally historical and notable block, Phil.
Yes.
And look, we sold the apartment to a very interesting chap. He's actually a tram driver, Philip, from Footscray. So
Really?
Yep.
Really?
So, you know, I love the variety, and I love, you know, that's to me, and I say this I know every week, but it's what's great about Australia, diversity and variety. He's come from Footscray.
Is he going to move
To use a Franco Cozzo from Footscray. He's come across, jumped over the West Gate, and he's going to be living in Hotham Street. So we welcome him, a delightful gentleman.
Speaking of Footscray viewers, and speaking of Franco Cozzo, because Franco Cozzo's building, which I don't know the address, but if you Google Franco Cozzo's building, it'll come up. Very prominent building, has been taken over by the Moondog Brewery. And apparently I'm not sure whether it's open yet, and if it hasn't opened, they might be doing a soft launch, but I can't wait to go and check it out. Not that I go to Footscray all that often.
Well, you should.
It's a hip happening place.
It is hip
But Moondog have taken over that brewery, and if we've got some footage to put up, we will. Incredible job that they've done, paying homage to the Franco Cozzo building.
Yes, very.
Trivia buffs, there's an interesting piece of trivia. What were we talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about real estate. Someone say, listen, I just want to jump in, by the way, before we go, because it is a significant day in the history of Gary Pugh & Associates, because we have one of our most loved and cherished team members who has been here now for 30 years, Philip. So let's put up a photo of Kylie Crothers. She is our office manager.
There is a photo of her when she started,
Yeah.
and here is a photo of the poor person now.
Now that's not fair. That's not true, Phil. We'll take down those false images, because she is not looking like that now. She is looking wonderful now. So you've tricked us with those images. But no, Kylie Crothers. Let's have a shot of her now. She has been with us for 30 years. So thank you, Kylie. Not many people are here. Well, I mean, we're not even that much older than 30 years. We are, but as a company. So thank you for your incredible service to our company.
30 years is an look, I've got to tell you, first of all, it's an extraordinary length of time for anybody to spend anywhere. I mean, it's just unheard of. I mean, we've got all these millennials who, if they've been somewhere for
5 years,
13 months,
that's right.
They want a celebration party.
Exactly right.
30 years is amazing, and Kylie has been involved with everything that we've done right from the start. Keeping in mind, she started with us when I think we were a team of 4 or 5 people. Now 150 people plus 16 people in the Philippines. So she's sent everything along the journey. She knows our secrets.
Yeah, exactly right.
So
exactly right.
If she ever gets kidnapped by the North Koreans and goes into an interrogation, and the North Koreans want to know what the success is, what is the successful ingredient to running a real estate agency in Australia? If they kidnap and interrogate Kylie Crothers, they'll have all of the answers.
I'm not sure she feels safe now, Philip. She has for the last 30 years, but thank you, Kylie, for being all you are and doing all you've done.
And of course, if anybody from North Korea is watching, I meant that in a loving, caring, kind of world-unifying way.
Exactly right. Phil, let's move on to our auctions again. I just have to jump in and say that, because it is a bit of a celebration going around, a bit of a vibe happening around the office, a lot of excitement, Phil. But we do have, of course, I think 33 people on our 10-year plus club. So we have a lot of people, they stay here. And I always say to people,
Dinner's coming up, Gary.
Why do people stay? Because when they start, we get them drunk, we compromise them with photos, we hold it over them, and then they can't go anywhere.
And there is we've taken away all the exit signs.
All the exit signs are
in the
gone.
building.
There's no clocks. It's a bit like casinos. No clocks. There's no exit signs.
That's it.
You have to drink that. They have to drink that,
that's it.
and then all of a sudden they start forgetting things. Anyway,
Yep, all good.
we're giving away all of our secrets now.
Happy birthday,
Yep.
happy anniversary to
Yep.
Carly.
Let's
Can we
get back to real estate? Yeah, okay, let's
What
do that.
happened across the weekend? You said we met somewhere.
Hey,
Where
we
meet?
met at Hotham Street in that beautiful
yep,
building.
that went well.
Tram 62,
That's
tram
right.
driver, driver bought it for Footy.
We said tram driver, and then
we got to Kylie, and I know.
Can you imagine if he was the tram driver? He's
I know,
just gone from Footscray right on the 69.
Exactly right.
Ended up in Kew.
Exactly right.
And I'm not talking about
on the 64.
I'm not talking about near Kew.
Hey,
either,
leave it there.
Gary.
Leave it there. We're not talking about that other part of Kew, the far away part. Philip, 2 at 524 Hawthorn Road. Well, that was a bit of a bonus, wasn't it? Because we sold this unit.
Yep.
And congratulations to Nikki. It was undisclosed.
Nikki Janover.
Nikki Janover. Yeah, it sold for $1,055,000. That's unit 2 at 524 Hawthorn Road, but there was actually another sale made in the building, Philip.
Yep.
Interestingly enough.
Yep.
And there might even be another one coming. So there you go. I like that when there's like a layer on top of a layer, a sale behind a sale, perhaps. Phil, 4A Anderson Street is a beautiful property. It was beautifully constructed by Shoalhaven, and I know you sing their praises very often.
Do you know what? Shoalhaven are one of Melbourne's best developers.
Yep.
The owner of Shoalhaven, James Cantianis,
Yes.
I think he's like a savant, Gary. He's a savant. And what I mean by that is he sees the future.
Yes.
And he builds...
He's a mystic.
He doesn't build for today.
No.
He anticipates what the consumer will want in a year, 2 or 3.
Yep.
So the work that he does, the work that Shoalhaven do, is always generously rewarded at the end because buyers want his property.
And we appreciate our newest sponsor, who is Shoalhaven Homes. Thank you. No, but the buyer is someone who's also...
The show was brought to you
by Shoalhaven Homes. Yeah. Anyway, the buyer is someone who's well known also, Philip, to the company and to me. And I said to that particular buyer, buy this because it is going to be a quality property. And, you know, it's good to be able to get behind a builder and endorse them that way. Like Harwich Homes, another amazing builder.
It is. And, you know, we can be bought, as we just were.
Yeah, and not for that much. You'd be surprised, really. We're on sale at the moment.
Very cost effective.
Yeah, very cost effective.
Gary, speaking of cost effective, I just want to introduce this. What am I eating at the moment? Right? I want a segment because I love cake. I love it.
Shall we have a little logo saying Phil's Food?
Phil's Food.
Phil's Food.
Phil's Food.
Okay.
Because I actually, I was out and about. Irene and I, we did some damage across the weekend because we were out Friday night, we were out Saturday afternoon.
Oh, you're just social butterflies, aren't you?
No, we were out just eating. It was just the two of us. But this segment will be about carrot cake. I am absolute... Do you like carrot cake?
No.
I love carrot cake. I'm leading with this, viewers. The number one carrot cake that I'm eating at the moment is from Tartine in High Street in Armidale. I'd love some of our local people to start sending in carrot. This is just a shameless way to get free carrot cake. But if you know a great carrot cake, let me know. Phil's Food segment is coming at you.
And we'd like to thank our new sponsor, the carrot cake provider. What's the name of the company?
Tartine.
Tartine, thank you very much.
High Street in Armidale.
Thank you very much.
Really good food.
And you can go there in your BMW if you'd like, because another sponsor of our show now, getting ridiculous. Phil, 4 Maurice Street is another property that was sold on the weekend.
Do you know what? I've got to say, this is the first time this property's been sold, I think, in 50,
many decades,
50 odd years. Shout out to the owners of this property, lovely lady who is no longer living in the home. She's now living in a caring facility. But this was ably handled by her daughters, who really did the most terrific job because they paid homage to the home. We styled it and presented the home, and ultimately it was on 807 square metres of land, Gary. So there was some talk, will somebody buy it for the land? Will somebody buy it for the house? The ultimate buyer and the underbidder were both wanting to move in and celebrate. So mid-century architecture, another one has been preserved.
Now 2 at 446 Hawthorn Road, Philip, was sold in Caulfield South. It was a beautiful single level unit. Also been in the same family for many, many years.
Yes.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Sometimes owners, as properties, go through a campaign, sometimes owners get a vibe or a feel, or they might even know the buyer or know someone who knows the buyer.
Yes.
And they actually say, I'd like that buyer to buy it. Yes. And in this situation, that was very much the situation of the vendor.
So the owner of the property sold it to someone they knew.
Yeah, someone they knew and identified with it.
Thankfully,
similar.
Thankfully, the team at Gary Peer and Associates were able to stand between the two of them and take just a small percentage of the entire transaction.
Yeah, exactly right.
For that, we are always eternally grateful.
I want to talk also about something that's a bit of a misnomer or a bit of a misunderstood situation or something that's one of those weird things that happens. And we've talked about this. In fact, you labelled it beautifully, and it's about buyers who think they're bidding against themselves. It's a good thing. I know you like that one. So I'll give you a good example, viewers. We'll have a property, we'll pass it in. Let's say the range is 1 to 1.1. We pass it in. A bid's $1 million. The reserve is 1.1. Sometimes it can be less than that, of course. But anyway, let's just say that's the situation.
That's
pass in $1 million. 1.1. You say to the buyer, the vendor would like 1.1. The buyer said, well, I bid $1 million. And then the buyer will say, well, hello, there's no one else here. No one else wants to buy this property. So why should I bid against myself? So I want to get that message out to buyers because what happens is often buyers will be in that situation. They'll then, sometimes they'll walk away, sometimes they'll negotiate and buy, sometimes they'll walk away, and lo and behold, what happens when they walk away?
Somebody else steps in today, tomorrow, next week, and buys.
Always. Either buys it or means that they'll have to then pay a higher price under more competition than they have at the auction. So when it is not about people bidding against themselves, it's about
negotiating with the vendor.
We are just in a negotiation.
So it's a negotiation. And sometimes, you have to calm the buyer down and say,
fair enough.
Look, yes, you are the only person right here, right now, at this particular point in time. And one of the things that I'll often say to these people, once I've calmed them down and we're all kind of working towards an outcome, which is seller wants to sell, buyer wants to buy, seller is reluctant, buyer is, where's all the other competition? And I'll say to them, let's go into a negotiation with the vendor, put aside the fact that at the moment there's no one here, or would you prefer me ring you when there are 3 other people that do want to buy it, which could be today, tomorrow, or next week, and you'll end up having to pay significantly more than you may well buy it for today.
You may lose it to someone else at a price you're prepared to pay.
But I do understand the natural reluctance of a buyer to say, well, look, why would I increase my offer when nobody else is here? Just remember, it's a moment in time. There is always another buyer.
Don't lose sight of that because the psychology is an interesting one. We've seen it. And I kind of wanted to unpack it a little bit on the show.
Oh, you've unpacked it so beautifully.
Look, I mean, Lewisham Road, for example. We had no buyer a week ago at the auction.
No buyer.
Shown, and now sold it for full price, full asking price. So everything sells. We have about a 96% clear cut-through rate every year, Philip, on everything we're given. 96%, more than you ever got at school for anything, except for absenteeism, much like myself. But anyway, interesting, I thought.
Fascinating.
Fascinating. I'm full of it, Phil, full of it.
You are.
I won't say what it is. Hey, by the way, did Melbourne play on the weekend? They had a bye, I think, did they?
They played on Wednesday night, played Richmond, Gary, and Richmond did not put up much of a fight. And Melbourne actually were not that good either.
Geelong really
Geelong's the team to beat, Gary.
They're hard to beat. And Carlton had their chances. I was there on Saturday. The mighty Blue Boys, the Blue Boys, the Baggers, were a little bit disappointed.
Let's talk real estate, Gary. We've got lots of auctions coming up.
Hey, last week, remember? It was footy, the weather, and what was the third thing?
Footy, the weather, and I cannot even remember what we said.
Real estate, maybe?
I can't remember what we said. I can walk out of this show, right?
So scary.
Film live before a live audience. I can walk out of this show and somebody says, "What did you talk about on GPTV?"
Gone.
No idea.
Gone. I left my car running before. You know that? I came here to start the show. I'm not proud of it, but I don't mind. I'm happy to be the butt of jokes. I left my car running.
Who were the 2 old guys in the Muppets? The 2 old guys, the crusty old guys up in
the balcony.
Up in the balcony. That's what we've become, Gary. But we will dust off the cobwebs this coming Thursday evening.
Yeah, and I'm happy, Phil, because at least I knew where the car was. Because I could have left the car running and not known where it was.
Correct.
That's really all what car I drive.
Excellent. Good to know.
Let's move on.
This Thursday, I'm excited, Gary, because we're going to be auctioning a property in one of my favourite streets.
How good looking is this property? I love to look at this.
This is number 11 Brunning Street, viewers. How good is this? This has been handled by Daniel and Jeremy, and this is an exciting property. Going to be auctioned this Thursday evening at 6:30. So it's going to be open from 6 o'clock. That is a stunning home. And Brunning Street is one of my favourite streets because First of all, it's a gorgeous street full of gorgeous homes. But secondly, it was one of the first listings that we've ever had. Was a house in Brunning Street.
It was too. I can't believe you go back that far. Seems like just yesterday, but it was actually probably nearly 40 years ago now, sadly, Phil. It's in that whole Carlisle Street groove, isn't it?
Yep.
Looking forward to that
So
one.
you now take us into the weekend, Gary.
I'm going to take you on the weekend, Phil. Come with me. We've got a busy Saturday. We're over about 7 or 8 different suburbs. We're going to kick off in Middle Park, Phil. I've got the auction honours at 10:30 a.m. after I go to the market in St Kilda, Philip, because the veg out market's
Farmers Market. If you want to know where a farmer's market is, Gary's your man. This is a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 1-car space apartment. A really good apartment, and obviously Middle Park is bulletproof.
Phil, we've got double auction action at 11:30. We're going to be in Windsor. Jeremy Rosens is the auctioneer. And,
together with Jesse and Ma, another 1-bedroom apartment. I love our 1-bedders. This is a really good building. 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 1-car space. Be in High Street, Windsor. Be amongst the groove.
You may wish you were younger, Phil, but the best I can offer you is to be at Younger, and that's Younger Avenue, Caulfield South.
I'm meeting Joel Sir and Benjamin Rothschild there. This is a fabulous home. It is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a lock-up garage. Plenty of garden area. I really like that property.
She was our Prime Minister, Philip. Her first name was Julia. The second name?
That was Julia Gillard. And I've got to tell you, viewers, I think she was really one of the most outstanding leaders this country's ever seen. Unfortunately, she didn't have a real go at it. Might have been her fault, might not have been, but Julia Gillard has probably, we'll all look back and say she really was a fabulous Prime Minister.
Well, I'm just looking at Gillard Street. I don't
4
really care
bedrooms, 2
about politics.
bathrooms,
Yep.
lots of land, a really good property. I'd love to live in Gillard Street.
And that's a 12:30 auction with Daniel Mickmucker. You have to name the Daniels, Phil, because
Yes,
we've got 3 of them.
We have.
We've got
Daniel
couple of
Mickmucker,
Amandas.
Jeremy Rosens are going to be there.
We've got multiple Amandas, multiple Leons.
Yeah, we've only got one Philip and one Gary.
I know. That's exactly right.
There you go.
Well, not a lot of people. I don't think
Can't get a job.
People
if your
name their
name's
kids.
Philip or Gary,
Can't get a
you'll
job.
never get a job here while we're here.
No.
And we're not going anywhere.
Exactly right.
Philips and Garys that are watching the show.
Is that discrimination?
It
right
probably
there?
is.
Could be.
That'll be the next thing.
Exactly
we'll
right.
get
Fair
some
Work
lawsuit.
Commission is going to come
there'll be
after
a
us.
joint action from all the
Exactly.
Philips and Garys who had no intention of getting into real estate.
Exactly right.
This is class action.
Now they
Slater
want to
and
get
Gordon.
exactly.
They're on it now.
Exactly right, as we speak. It's been nice anyway. All right, let's move on to McKinnon Road. Philip, Jeremy Rosen's auctions in this terrific block. Love this block and have sold there before. 104 193.
Meeting
McKinnon
Ben
Road.
Eisner and Darren Krongold there. That's a really good apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, beautiful balcony. I love that property.
If you take the S out of steak, Phil,
Yep.
you get to Teak Street.
Teak Street,
I had
yep.
a good steak last night at Marble. What a
Yeah.
great restaurant that is. 13
must
Teak
go
Street.
there.
You have to.
13
you're doing the
Teak
auction
Street.
there.
What a great property. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, plenty of car parking, beautiful inside. Joel Sir, Daniel Fisher and Benjamin Rothschild. I'll be meeting them there.
Koonang Road, Philip, is also at 1:30. Leo Samuel's doing the auction in his hood in Carnegie.
He is doing it with his brother Aviv. So the Samuel brothers are riding into Koonang Road.
High on the horse.
Don't mess with the Samuel brothers. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of off-street car parking, a lock-up garage, further car spaces, plenty of wraparound garden.
Jeremy Rosens has his 3rd auction in Dandenong Road. This is a great looking property.
Meeting Jacob Kingston and Kane Nissenbaum. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, basement car parking. That's a winner.
Philip, Murrumbina Road. I know this has been very popular. I'm not surprised. Well priced and a good looking property. Leo Samuel's been involved in that one.
Yep, on behalf of Oliver Quinn, who's been at the coalface. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a lock-up garage, courtyard gardens. That's a beautiful property. And again, we love those single-storey villas.
We do. Not a really busy weekend, is it, for us, Phil?
No.
But we've got some quality stuff coming through on Saturday. And also Sunday, we kick off with a double auction action at 11:30. Moore Street, Caulfield South.
4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage. This is beautiful inside and out. I'm going to be meeting Vanessa McGlynn and John Sweepo there. That should go well.
Philip, 4 at 354 Dandenong Road, St Kilda East. I've got the auction honours for that one, meeting Daniel Peer there.
And Romy Skolnick, who's doing, by the way, she's doing amazing work.
Things,
2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of car parking, great location there. We love it.
12:30, Philip, you'll be heading down to Beach Street in Caulfield South, just Parkside almost, Philip, isn't it?
Gary, I love this home. I've done a video tour. Daniel Pierre, Arlene Joffe and Romy Skolnick have been handling it. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, off-street car parking. It's got the most incredible secret garden, this property, Gary, and the renovations there are by Omnicom.
7 Newstead Street, Philip. Leo Samuel has, when he listed this, he rang me up and said, you cannot believe how magnificent this home looks now.
It looks absolutely fabulous, Gary, and it has a sauna with winter coming up. How nice is that?
Lovely.
Lior and Aviv have been handling that home. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a double lock-up garage.
4 Albany Court, that's a quality address, Philip, and this one goes to auction on Sunday at 1:30 p.m.
Yes, Gary, what a great opportunity. That is 641 square metres of land, 4 bedrooms, a study, 2 bathrooms, a double garage. That's a great property in a very exclusive pocket of Caulfield North.
In Orong Road at 2:30, there is another auction happening with Daniel Fisher. You will be meeting him there.
I'll be meeting Daniel and Benjamin and Darren Krongold. I love this property. This is one of the absolute mid-century gems. This is 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, massive entertaining areas, undercover car parking. This has been renovated throughout, but all of the mid-century features are still there. Absolutely love that property.
At the same time, Philip, I'll be bringing down the curtain on a busy weekend or a busy Sunday. Not that busy, really, is it? Actually,
No, not
for
at
us?
all.
No, not that busy. But anyway, an active one. Let's say that, Philip. Back to Teague Street we go at 2:30 p.m.
Meeting Daniel Pierre and Arlene Joffe there, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, courtyard garden areas. That's a great opportunity to get into the marketplace.
They are our auctions, a couple of featured properties, Philip. We've got 2 properties next to each other, Parkside, opposite the park in Marara Road.
Who would have
a
thought
rare
2
offering,
properties?
Philip.
Gary, we've got
Yep.
number 33 and number 32. And for those viewers that are wondering, how can 32 and 33 be beside each
not
other?
opposite, yes.
That's because Marara Road, only in that part, has got one side.
That's right. The other side is the park, Phil. That's exactly right.
Yes,
Correct.
Carowena.
The other side's
Yep,
Carowena.
that's right. Yep.
You're with us?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Don't
I'm
worry
with
about
you.
it. Nicky
Anyway,
Janover
Nicky
grew up
Janover's
there.
got the joy of this because number 33 has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of car parking, quite a substantial Art Deco renovated home. Number 32 is 621 square metres of land with a very livable and lettable family home, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. That is a great opportunity.
32 does need a lot of work, Philip, but the land is there and the opposite the park is beautiful.
Yep.
And again, Nicky Janover very excited because she grew up in that street. So
Yes,
for
she
her,
did.
it's a homecoming.
Yep.
Philip, we've got this terrific property that's been the second most attended property of all of ours on this weekend was 724 Inkerman Road, Caulfield
Well,
North.
it's in that fabulous pocket bounded by Inkerman,
Yep.
Dandenong Road and Hawthorne Road, Normanby. We love that little pocket there. It's a little bit of a golden triangle.
Yep.
This is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and a lock-up garage. That's a really great way to get into the market. And you can live right across the road from Caulfield
I think
Park.
it might be Corn of Carnarvon, that one, Philip.
Yep,
Great spot.
it is.
And we will close the curtain on this show with number 5, Balaclava Road, St Kilda East, Philip.
What a great property that is. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking for as many as 4 cars, depending, of course, on the size of those cars, Gary. Couldn't be that, you couldn't be at 4 Hummers, for example. But
Well, I
you
don't
would
think
get-
someone has got 4 Hummers that's
Well,
going to look in Caulfield
I think
or St
Arnold
Kilda.
Schwarzenegger actually
Well,
has
he doesn't
4.
want to buy in East St Kilda at the moment.
He may not, but if he did want to,
He'd
and
have to miss that.
He's going to have to sell 2 of his Hummers. But
Yeah.
that's a great property, Gary. It's got real stately presence. It's on a good parcel of land, walking distance to everywhere you're ever going to want to be.
And Arnie, it's worth selling a couple of Hummers to get into that one if you're looking in the market in East St Kilda at the moment. His son lives in Melbourne. I don't know if you know
Does he?
that. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he does. Anyway, look, that's a big wrap.
Why?
Because why not? You know,
Yep,
he does.
good point.
It's
Most
a big-
livable city in the world.
Yeah. Why does everybody else live in Melbourne? Why
Yeah.
can't he live in Melbourne? Phil, that's a big wrap on this week's show. The last one for April on GPTV, bringing you the real estate news. Still plenty going on. Some nice listings coming through. A few quiet sales happening as well. Phil, we've been doing some. In fact, we've listed some very exclusive homes off market. If you're interested, give Phil or myself or Darren Krongold, who's been involved in those, a call. And that's a big wrap for this week's edition of GPTV. I'm Gary Pierre.
I'm Philip Kingston. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.